welcome to Knowledge is Power Podcast Live. Hey, this is Tony Renfro, your host, along with Trisha Primo, and our guest. Our guest tonight is Kristen Manuel, uh, Democratic candidate for Texas House Representative, District 22. But let me tell you this. Knowledge is Power Podcast is a platform to share important information by educating Southeast Texas African American communities with valuable information on health, education, financial, politics, business, and so on. Tell your friends, share it with us, share our show with you, with everyone. We are live every Tuesdays and Sundays at 7 o'clock during the fall time. We discuss financial, education, health, money management, politics. We do all that kind of stuff. But also, we are now on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Apple, iTunes, Amazon Music, LinkedIn, and Google Play. Hello, Lauren. Say hello, Kristen. Lauren is here. We give her a big shout out. How are you,
Hello,
Lauren?
Lauren.
Hey, Lauren. Yes, we're here with Kristen Manuel. Now, I'm going to jump around here and cut our music down a little bit so we can hear what's going on here. Let me ask you this, Chris. I got to ask you this question. I really do.
Yeah.
That's serious. I got to ask you this question. Now, what one of these names you going to use? You got several last names. So which one we gonna use tonight? Is it Kristen Manuel or is Kristen Manuel-Hayes?
To make just like a lot of people in the picture, and my sister, I just never really got around to changing manual, and so it'll be changed by January. This is what legally I was on. So it's Christian Manuel-Hayes who you vote for.
I'm gonna leave it as Kristen Manuel-Hayes. Okay,
to the next,
so we won't miss. To the next election. We don't want to miss you. Hey, Kristen, you was back with us in January.
Yes.
And we had a good talk. This was before this. This was during the time you was running in the the primary, right? Yes. And now we're in the general election, right? We're in the Democratic election, general election coming in November, and early voting starts October what?
24th.
4th, okay. October the 4th. Okay, you break it up. That's why I couldn't hardly hear you. You got some open breaking up air there. 24th. Okay, good. So anyway, we are going to. Someone popped in or popped out on my show here. What's going on? She popped in. Okay,
popped out.
Yeah. Okay, she's there. Okay. So we're gonna drop down a little bit because this show is for you, my friend. Yeah,
well,
this is a show for you. Tell us. Now you work for Joe Deshotel for 14 years.
In years.
Actually, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. I want you to pop out of the platform because your voice is breaking up. No, not breaking up. It's in spots. We can hear you clearly.
Okay,
and it's not like a delay.
I'm gonna pop and pop back in, and I'm gonna grab 30 seconds. 1 second.
Okay, I give you time. Don't worry about it because we'll talk about something else we did on Saturday. By the way, while we're waiting on our guest to come back to return, let us tell you about our Saturday morning show. You're really gonna like it. Our Saturday morning show is called The Wall of Racist Business. It's our new Saturday morning podcast. We want to hear from your complaints and wrongful treatment practices, wrongful business practices against you. We want to know so we can address the businesses. Because we want to expose those who are not being fair and being unfair with you, doing business with them, or it just in general. We want to know what's going on in our community so we can address the problem and get it handled. That's what we do here. Inbox us here on Facebook page, Knowledge is Power, or the Facebook page, The Wall of Racist Business. Every Saturday morning, we have a guest that here to tell us about an incident that happened that we can work with and try to solve the problem or make it better. So, thank you again for listening and watching us. We can be located and we put our number there. There we go. You contact our information with complaints at my email address, tonerintro55@gmail.com, or you can call 409-504-2770. Okay, I think we got a better connection here. Okay, he's coming. He's coming. I see him. Also, let's say here, you can watch us on our website too. Did I put the right thing there? There we go. No, that's not it. Okay, you there? All right, there we go. All right, my friend. Let me put you on the
Is that
let me put you in
better?
the main show here. A lot better. Okay. No,
Okay,
not okay.
perfect.
Uh-oh.
Are we still? Am I still having a bad?
Yes, I like a delay. Lauren, tell us what you hear because I'm hear you talking. Then it goes blank, and then I hear the last part of what you're saying. Like you were saying 24. I can only hear the four.
Uh,
It might be your internet strength or something.
I will. One thing. Uh,
Trish, just a moment, folks. He's coming. Oh, I did. I didn't mute you. Okay, Trish, I didn't unmute. I didn't mute you.
It says, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, it keeps telling me it says I'm muted.
No, you're fine. You're here.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're trying to get Kristen back on here so we can talk with him. Uh,
okay.
I
they're
wonder what
coming.
causes
How
that.
is this?
I don't know.
Is
You
it doing
there,
it to me
Kristen?
too?
No, it's not
Yes.
doing it to
Can you hear
you.
me?
I can hear you great now. Good.
Okay.
Let me put you on the screen here. Okay, put you here. There we go. And we're gonna drop to the bottom here. There we go. All right, Kristen.
Okay.
So tell them we now that we got everybody here, we clicked on and we got everybody on the channel and we all here. And again, Christian is running for District 22 Texas House seat, representative for District 22 in the Democratic. He's the Democratic candidate right here in our backyard, Port Arthur Proud. Port Arthur Proud. Tell us about it, Kristen.
First off, I'm Jefferson County and proud because I am the mother and the bone my father. So
That's right. That's true.
I
Okay.
want to leave either part of my heritage out. Short, I've been working for Representative Deshotel since 2004, and I will. It's all working for him. And the main reason that I'm running for because I think I'm better than anyone else or better than anyone qualified, and I want to give back to Jefferson County has allowed me to be able to do, which is to run for office. I'm coming in as a freshman, and even without seniority, I am still been half of the current membership in the Texas House. So I'm really proud and honored to my area, and I look forward to going into the general in Southeast Texas proud.
Okay. Trisha, I'm going to work on
Yeah.
something on my end. Visit with Kristen and let me find out what's going on. Okay. Great.
Okay, I got you. Hey, Christian. Can you hear me?
I
Uh-oh. We're having technical issues, it looks like.
I can hear you, Chris.
Okay, well, no
I can
problem.
hear you. No, I
Okay,
can hear you,
okay.
Trisha, but I can't hear Kristen a little bit. I can hear
Neither
you
can I.
talking. I can hear you talking, but it's still in us. Are you on your phone? Or are you on your
Me?
I have
computer? No.
gone to
I
3
got you.
different devices. My internet strength, I don't know what it is. It's showing everything is in.
Right. It's
I,
you show a strong strength too. You
I,
show a strong strength too. It could be it could be ours. No, I don't look at our strength. We have good connection, good feedback,
Tony, do you want
network
me to pop
connection.
out and see if that helps?
Let's see. Okay, pop
Okay.
out and see
All right.
what happens. Okay.
All right.
Well, now he walked out. Okay. That's it. That works. I'm here, guys. We're here. It's better. Yeah. I don't know. He's not here. Okay, Kristen.
okay, can you hear me better now?
Great. Great. Are you using? Yes, very much.
Okay.
Are you using Safari? I'll try a different. Okay.
Yes, I'm using. I only use Safari.
Okay. Because
That what it
my
is?
IT is
It's
saying, yeah, what my IT is saying that make sure to verify if you
yes.
are using Safari or a different browser. Okay.
I'm using.
There we go.
I need to try to switch to Chrome.
No. Stay with Safari.
Okay, on my phone right now instead of the computer.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Okay, Trish.
I'm here.
We've got Kristen back. Okay, now say A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
L M N O.
No, it's not that. It's L-N-O-P. Okay, we back with Kristen, everybody, again. Hey, Anthony Cooper. Big shout out to Anthony Cooper. He's a Kristen Maine for State Representative District 22. Um, um, Kristen, you're saying that early vote is October 24th. Tell us how your campaign is moving along right now.
It's moving along great. I mean, we're having fundraisers. I mean, I've almost 6 months of block walking. I mean, it's going in a positive direction. I just, to please donate to the campaign, to please here at a block walk, phone bank, send out family and friends, but just to get out and vote.
Trish,
Yes, I'm here.
visit with him, and I'm gonna go and talk to my IT guy.
Okay. Hey, Christian. I'm sorry. Okay, so
Can
you
you
said
hear
you've been
me?
block walking? I can hear you right now. You said you've been block walking?
Yes, there's been some light block. We're doing a lot of, but mainly campaign and fund. I had a primary and a runoff, so that drain. So you have to rebuild those in order to run a feet when you've asked people to donate several to trying to do that again.
I'm sorry, it's in and out, but you said that people have been donating.
We're trying to donate because of the fact that so this is now 3 races, and it's continuously to ask people.
Uh-oh. Well, it looks like maybe.
Okay.
Option 2.
Me?
He's messing with the windows. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. You still there?
Okay, just finished talking to the IT. It's saying that maybe he needs to use another browser like Chrome to resolve the issues. They've been having some issues, some problems with Safari having audio quality issues, unfortunately. Okay, so now you tell me. So I just hate that we did not get our show up and going like we need to have it going, but we're here
You keep making.
supporting. We're here supporting Kristen Manuel, everyone. He's running for Texas House 22, uh, uh, District 22, Texas State House representative. And we've got to get behind him and get out there and make folks go out there and vote. Early voting start October the 24th. There we go. Let me text him and let him know what we've got news for him. Okay. There we
Okay.
go.
I'm
There we
sorry, I
go.
couldn't
All
hear
right.
hardly
Okay.
anything.
I got it. Yeah. Hey, Kristen.
Yes.
I just talked to our IT, and he's he requesting that you if go onto your computer and use another browser like Chrome to
I just
resolve it.
did. Is that working better?
Yes, you're on it now. A lot better. A lot better.
I
Okay.
just switched back to the computer. Okay.
All right. Right. You're on Chrome now, right?
Yes.
Right. We hear you now. Okay.
That's
We
so much
got you.
better.
Okay. So much better. Now we getting there.
Okay.
Now we getting there. Okay. I'm gonna move you over here, and then we're gonna drop down here, and let's get the show on the road after 30 minutes. Okay.
Take 4.
So, so Christian, I was just saying that we're supporting you. We like to ask of you what can we do to help you in this campaign because we're pulling blue.
Thank you. I need people to make sure that one, that they know that they're registered to vote, that they're getting registered to vote, and most importantly, besides voting, I need people to understand one thing that's important. We need to learn to listen and not just hear. A lot of people listen to rhetoric, but they don't hear the rhetoric. It's easy for any candidate to say something, and I'll just use this for an example. A person says God or Jesus, and people automatically think, "Oh, God, yeah, they're a God-fearing person." But if you look at what their legislative agenda is are they following what they believe in, or are they just using it as rhetoric to gin people up and give you red meat and make you think that, oh, I'm doing God's work? Everyone who touts God is not doing God's work. And what I need people to really do is to really truly understand, listen to who's speaking, and listen to what kind of legislation they say they want to push, and ask them. Any candidate who's running for office should have some idea of what their political agenda is. So I just ask that people really pay attention to those things, and I need you all support to make sure that people are really understanding that.
Excellent, excellent. So what are your agenda for the next 3-4 weeks going forward?
So agenda for the campaign, it would
Yes,
be
for the campaign. What do you got going on? So we need to know
we
so
have
we get the word out.
we're not going to have as many events, and I'm just going to be honest. We've had 6 months of events.
Mhm.
We are going to be we're trying to have a few more fundraisers because I had a primary and a runoff, and that drained a lot of resources, and that would drain resources from any candidate having to do a primary and a runoff. So we're trying to raise more funds to be able to do the things we need to do. But mainly, just importantly, is me getting out there, talking to people like I have been before, doing block walking, Making sure that I'm touching as many people as I can, letting them know what my agenda is, and that's really what I'm going to be doing from now until the end. We have commercials. Some people love yard signs. I personally don't like yard signs. Yard signs don't move people. I've tried to use my resources more towards on such as advertising with commercials and things of that sort, because that touches people more than a yard sign. People see yard signs and they move on, but people see commercials and they watch them. And so that's why some people were like, I didn't see that many yard signs for you. And I said, well, would you rather me have 1,000 yard signs and you didn't know what you needed to know? Or would you have rather seen the commercials that you talked about for days and your friends talked about for days? And it just went on and on and on. And I said, I think the money was better spent in a conversation that you were able to have that kept me in a conversation with you. And that's what I'm going to keep doing, is just I want to have a good conversation about what I plan on doing and what I know I can do in the Texas legislature.
Right. I always said at the time that I ran about 3 years ago, that's the science is great, but science do not vote.
Signs do not vote.
No, I never seen one at the polling
If they
station.
did, that would be voter fraud.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We've got
When you see a sign, all you see is their face. When you hear them on the television, you get to know what they stand for.
Exactly. Yes. And that's the reason why I am not heavy on signs. People are always like, I need signs. And I'm like, I'm not ordering anymore. I've ordered about 300 more. They should be in by the end of this week or beginning of next week. But I was like, I would rather do commercials, because there are people who are like, how can I put it? When you walk into a Staples and you're like, I just need to buy some computer paper. And the lady goes, hey, I voted for you. You're the guy who did the commercial with your grandmother. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, okay, yeah. And it really excites people, and it was a great thing to do, and I'm glad I did it that way, honestly.
right. I've learned something. I maybe try that the next time.
But more personable, and guess what?
Right.
Nothing is more important than touching voters and making them feel that you're in their home. Yard signs are outside of your home. Commercials are outside of your home, and that's something that's important.
Well, I'm trying to get this. What is going on here? Okay. All right. There we go. Let's see. Terry Royce is shouting
I
at us.
see it.
You see
And
it?
boy, thank you so much for that. Yes, you know what? That is the one question that I ask everyone when I meet them is, do you know what a state representative does? And just to really clarify it as simple as I can is, anything that is state related is something that we can look into. The main job of a state representative is to pass a budget. That is our only job, is to pass a state budget. Everything else is considered extra. So, for instance, as I tell people, if you're in Port Arthur and you're driving down Guffway and there's some kind of road construction or something,
There we go. That's okay. We're there. We're there.
okay,
We're there.
if you're on a state road, the state is responsible for it. If you have problems with SNAP benefits, if you have problem with your state workers' comp, those are things we can do. If you have problem with, for instance, anything that's in the federal government, such as military service, if it comes to FEMA, unless we have had a joint partnership with them, we don't have a state agency. As I tell people, our hands are not tied. We don't even have hands to walk in that. When it comes to school funding, we have authority over that, because states receive states do 90% of all school funding, and the rest of the school funding is through the federal government. So these are the things that we can do. We can look into certain allegations. If you have a family member that has been incarcerated and you feel that they've been judged or mistreated, those are things we can look into. We can't do anything with school board. We can't do anything with local politics. So if you're upset with the mayor or the police chief, that is not what we can legally do, because it's the different branches of government. And that happens a lot, is that, well, they won't talk to me here, or they won't talk to me there. And we have to tell them, unfortunately, we can't tell the police you have to do this. We can only legislate, and Texas only legislates every other year for 140 days, unless we're called. And all we have the authority to do is to change the law that the police or any other jurisdiction under state law is governed under. We can't change any positions, but we can ask them to do better. We can let them know that we're listening to our constituents, and we can let them know if things continue to persist in certain ways, that we are more than willing to pass legislation, or try to pass legislation, I should say, that would fix these solutions. And sometimes we just have to do it because it is a state issue that needs to be fixed.
I didn't know that.
I didn't
You
either.
telling me something new.
Yeah, things of those sorts. You can have a federal law, but I mean, if you're upset with your superintendent, that's your school board. That's who you talk to. We can't fire a superintendent. Now, we can change the laws of how a superintendent would be allowed to be qualified, maybe, or we could even change the curriculum for a school, but we can only do that when we're there. Other than that, we don't have the authority to fire a teacher. We don't have the authority to say the school has to give us an investigation of what's going on with the students in Nederland ISD. We just don't have that authority, because that is the authority of your school board. And as I tell people, as I said before, is if your state representative had as much power as people would like them to have, then that means you have no reason wasting elections on city officials and school board officials and county commissioners. There is a reason that there is a breakdown of government, and state representatives are part-time. They're not full-time legislators. So we don't have full-time authority to change things.
You only just represent the district that you was voted into.
Right. We can write letters in support of some things, but where the ultimate power that people really think about is, it's in Austin. It is when you go to session, and that is when you really have the weight to push things the way that you want to push them.
Mm-hmm. And now, before then, did you do this before while working for Joe Deshotel?
No, thank you, Mr. Preston, Mr. Roy, for that. That is a question I love to answer. I did it on a smaller scale as a chief of staff for 10 years for Rep. Deshotel. You're in meetings, and you have to think, for instance, there was over 6,000 bills filed last session. And of those, 666 became law. And that means that your chief of staff, your staff, and your member, people, they want to make sure that your area or our area is getting their bang for their buck, and that's why you have a chief. So sometimes the member has to go here, and you have to go here, and you have to make deals, and you have to do this, because your member's doing the same thing on 5 or 10 other bills, and you're doing 5, 15, 20 other bills. And as the chief, normally you carry the brunt of it, because the fact is, I always tell people, you are a grown-up babysitter. You are managing staff, you're managing your member, and you're making sure your ultimate job is, besides keeping your job so you can pay your bills, is making sure that your boss's district looks good and gets as much as they possibly can. So you're always behind the scenes, because you have so much more you have to do. Their job is to be out front and center. Their job is to let people know that they're working. Trish?
I'm sorry. I'm still trying to hear. I'm having a hard time.
Okay.
Is there anything that you're working on or you want to work on?
Absolutely, of course. I have an agenda. So one of the things that is going to be huge for me is domestic violence. A lot of people will say, "Oh, Christian, your mom is so great," but a lot of people don't know that my mother at one point dealt with that, and she shielded us from a lot of that. And a lot of the legislation, as do a lot of women and men, do not talk about, which we understand to their children, what they're actually going through. And that's going to be a forward focus, for me. Also, as well as making sure that we're focusing on education needs that come for children who have dyslexia, children who have autism, making sure we can find those gaps and making sure we can fill those services that they need. Also, everyone is going to be talking about school safety, but I've been working on a school safety bill that will not harden schools, but will keep them safe, and will make sure that what happened in Uvalde or even other places does not happen again. And we're still building on that legislative agenda. There's going to be some local issues that we're going to have to deal with that are what are called local and consent bills, which just affect our area. And that could be things of council member Durio gave me this piece of legislation. So shout out to him. I appreciate him for letting me know, trying to get the city tax back into Beaumont so that instead of us giving that money to the state, that 10% when people stay here will stay in Beaumont so that Beaumont can use those funds to make sure that we're helping people. And different things like that.
Stop right there.
Yeah,
Go
right.
back,
No, right.
rewind that back because
One more
that's
time.
one more time about the 10% tax. You mean we're not receiving that 10%? Is going to the state?
Yes.
And how long has it been that way?
It has been that way, from my understanding, for almost a blink of forever, because our county doesn't traditionally meet the ultimate criteria. So what we have to do, without going too much into a legislative goober lingo that I can get into, is we have to change the law that governs how Beaumont is covered under the law, and we have to basically say this is the law that says you can't take 10% from this area for hotel taxes, and we are going to put this. We're going to put Beaumont in here, and then Beaumont will be a part of that area where now we can say, good, we get to keep our 10% tax. Because the state. Sorry.
Amazing. No, that's great. I'm glad that you guys are working on that, and thank you, Chris Stereo, for appreciating it.
Yeah, we didn't know that. I didn't know that either. I'm learning something every podcast we have. I'm learning something. But I want you to repeat what Chris Durio has given you to work on. Okay, go ahead.
He has given me to work on making sure that we're putting the hotel occupancy tax back into the city of Beaumont rather than becoming a pool of money for the entire state to take from.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wow. Yes, fantastic. Let's see here. I had Ark here, but he disappeared on us. Okay, he missed out. But anyway, Kristen, man, that was great news, man. I didn't know anything about that. Thanks, Chris Durio.
Yes,
thank you. Because that's 10%. That's funds that we can use right here in the city of Beaumont.
Yeah,
and that is what
thank you for taking.
Oh no, and that is what a state representative is supposed to do. We are supposed to listen. We are supposed to say, okay, and some people are going to want things you don't agree with, and you're not going to be able to file it because that's not what you believe in. But we're supposed to look at things. This is nonpartisan. This is important, and I wouldn't have understood some of the schematics if the councilman hadn't said, hey, can you check on this because I'm trying to see how we can do this because we're trying to do this. And I'm like, oh, no problem. Let me call the AG's office. And the AG's office called me back in an hour and they're like, oh yeah, Christian, you just have to do this, this, and this, file this on this bill, and this go through the legislative process. It's a connection. It's supposed to be city government, local government, the state government, and the federal government all working in a chain that is supposed to help voters. There's your districts and your constituents. That is why it's important for us to listen to each other. This is not it shouldn't be an adversarial thing, and I don't look at it that way. So yes, again, Councilmember Durio deserves all of the credit because this was him bringing this to the state's attention, and this is something that is important to us, all of us.
Yeah,
and we appreciate you too, because it's kind of a rare thing to see you guys working together and doing that kind of thing. We kind of focus on the bad stuff a little bit. So I appreciate you letting us know that. That's very good news.
Yes, definitely. Say something. I missed it.
Something.
Okay. I'm doing something. I'm doing something else. Okay, but yeah, I mean that is amazing. So what else good news we need to know about that you're working on? But first of all, we got to get you in office.
Oh yes, of course. I mean, the biggest thing is I just need people to vote. I need them to not stop at the top. I need them to go all the way down to the bottom. I need people to understand how important. We always say that every election this is the most important election of your life, and people are tired of hearing about it. And what I tell people is the reason that we say this is because the day that you don't show up is the day that you lose your rights. And that is why every election is important. And if we can, and that's something that I've tried to do is tell people, it seems like everything always is just getting worse and worse and worse, or better and better and better, but things get better when you vote. Because the fact you hold people accountable, have your elected officials explain to you why they're doing the things that they're doing, why they're carrying the bills that they carry. And that is something that I have said to everyone. If a bill makes sense to me and I can justify why I'm voting for it, whether I'm right or wrong, it makes sense to say, well, I don't agree with Christian on this, but at least I understand where he's coming from. But we have a lot of people who don't understand what they're voting for, why they're voting for it, and we have to change that from elected officials all the way to our citizens. As I always have said on my campaign speeches, why do we expect more from our soldiers than we do from us as citizens? We have to be as good as the soldiers that we uplift when we want to uplift them. We need to be just as good as they are, just as bipartisan as they are, and we have to be there to protect our citizens just like our soldiers do. My father is a Coast Guard veteran. I was raised on an Air Force base the very beginnings of my life, and that really is ingrained in me, is this sense of unity for what is better for our culture and society. Yes, we still have a lot of progress to make, but the thing is, people have to remember, we've never stopped continuously trying to be the best that we can be. And we're only human and we make mistakes. But as long as we're trying, that is, like they say for us who are Christians and who are Abrahamic faith, as long as you continue to try to be better, that is what we believe our Creator adores about us, is that we continue to try. So we have to try to be better every day.
Awesome. That is awesome. Chris, you there? He popped out again.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so
Yes, sir. I
what?
am.
Okay, yeah.
I had to get my internet together. I didn't want.
The internet is everybody's problem today.
It is.
Okay, I'm glad it ain't just me. Then everybody got dollar store internet.
Okay, we can hear you.
I did hear a lot of what Christian said, and as a I text Christian just as much as I text you, Trisha, or you, Tony. The communication or the accessibility to him is there. Pretty much like he said that my main focus is advocate for voting is that we get out the vote, because especially here in Beaumont, we have the number of voters go, but they're not turning out to the polls. And one of the reasons that there is a gap of knowledge when it comes to the importance of this election or any election, because like Christian said, me and my sister LaDonna, we always say, slavery is but a measure on the ballot. So that's how important it is to, not just but people that believe in and support the efforts of to Christian. I know you are on a definite campaign trail. I know the works that you're going through, especially state district. So it's a little bit worse. But I definitely wish you well, and thank you for taking this step and really, like you said, putting the burden citizens, or like we like to say in the military, putting the burdens of the civilian on your shoulders. So I take my hat off to you. 100%, definitely in contact with you from here on out.
Thank you. And yes,
I wanted to that this position that he is actually in is extremely important, especially when we go through certain things or we see certain things within our district governed by the state. I'm constantly in communication with state elected, Christian, on behalf of the Deshotel, as well as other state elected officials and representatives, to resolve to an issue that we have in Jefferson County, especially at the state. So, yeah, I mean, like, I definitely appreciate and his communication with the families of those inmates that are affected. Yeah, I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. And that's my job. I love my job. And like I said, If we're not doing our part to make government better, we do not need to run for office. If we're running for speeches, if we're running for the next best thing, if we're running to just be better than people, it only affects our constituents, the people that we live next door to. And that's why I said, I really hope and pray people learn to listen and to hear what people are saying. Because if you listen to a lot of people and you hear what they're saying, you realize they're giving you what you want in a speech, but their platform is null and void. They don't even have a platform. And it's easy to say, I believe in God and I'm a Christian, and that gets people, oh, well, that's my candidate. Well, I believe in God and I've been a Christian for 36 years, but that doesn't mean that I'm better than anyone else. And this isn't a who's a better Christian race. This is who is here to help people, because that's all this position is supposed to be for, is helping people's lives get better every single day that you can help them.
And Christian, I think you're going to do well because
Well,
you love the job. You're not there for, you're there to do the job. You love the job. And there's nothing like loving a job,
Yeah, I love it. And I've been
Mhm.
blessed to have it. I've been so blessed, and I'm thankful. I'm very thankful.
And we know that all things work together for good for those
Yeah.
who love the Lord. Hey, Kristen, thank you so much for visiting with us. We're going to be supporting you. We're going to be behind you, and we're going to be
Thank
block
you.
walking with you and doing everything we can to get you on board because we need your assistance. We need
And
your
actually,
help.
I do need one favor from you guys. Whenever I get a couple of events together that I want to do, I'd love it if you would all show up if you can, and bring your cameras and your phones and everything and your friends, and invite everybody. So I'll get you some of those dates, and I'm just going to hold you to them anyway. And everyone watching this, any event I'm having, please come out if you can. Anything that I'm doing, please, if you have 10 minutes and you want me to come block walk your neighborhood with you, I don't care if it's one block. Please let me know. Please, please, please. If you can't, if for some reason you haven't gotten a hold of me, you know that Tony Renfro will get a hold of me. You know that Uncle
right.
Joe will get a hold of me. Please, let's make this state rep seat what it's supposed to be, a community seat about loving each other and making this area what it is, a great area to live in. It is not a horrible place to live.
No,
It
it's
is
not. No, it's not. It's a wonderful place to live.
It is.
We just got to keep that mind frame, and stay positive and do what we need to do to make things work for our good. And Kristen, we are behind you. We're supporting you, and send me some more tags so that we can post you up on our shows. Again, we've got a new show on Saturday morning. We had a great time on last Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, right, Trish?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we had a great show. It's about, the name of it is, can I pop it up here? The Walls of Racist Business. It's a new Saturday morning podcast. Starts at 10 o'clock. We want to hear from your complaints around for treatment, business treatment, whatever it is that you need help with. We're here to help. Just like Christian is here to help us here in Jefferson County, we're here to help you here in Southeast Texas and surrounding area. Join us each Saturday morning for that. But we're still here on Sundays and Tuesdays. Again, thank you, Kristen.
Thank you.
Manuel
Yes, thank you.
Hayes. I don't know what his last name gonna be next week. Tell
I'm
them.
yours
I
next time.
Hey, man,
I told you,
enjoyed
Tony
man.
was crazy, man.
Hey, Singing Solomon said 100, baby.
Thank you so much.
Singing Solomon. All right, we're gonna big shout out to Singing Solomon. Thank you for listening, Single. Singing Solomon. Okay. Great guy. Hey, thank you again, my friend.
Thank
God
you.
bless. We love
Good
you.
night, guys.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.